welcome back to The Hook. Now we have two of our guests that's coming in who will also be co-hosts of the show throughout the semester. We have Jeff Barker and Harry Hoffman who will come in and talk about the Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles game this past Thursday night.
Yes.
Guys, how are y'all doing today?
Doing wonderful, Julien. Thank you for having us on the show, sir.
All right, let's get it started. First off, recap of the game. What were your thoughts about the game, and how did you feel about the Eagles' performance towards the game, or Kansas City performance throughout the game?
I thought it was big for Kansas City, 2-0 team, to have a tough road game on a Thursday night after a short week and pretty much go in and dominate on the defensive side of the ball, force 2 interceptions in the first half. And, to go 3-0, Andy Reid going back to Philadelphia after they pretty much drove him out to get a win, I think it was huge for his confidence and for his team's confidence. Alex Smith, a pretty solid game. I think Kansas City has a lot of confidence right now that could lead for a deep run this season.
Hoff, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I don't really like how you said dominated defensively for Kansas City, because I don't really think they did. I mean, Michael Vick, 99 rushing yards. LaShawn McCoy, over 150 rushing yards. Michael Vick did throw those 2 untimely interceptions, one of them being a pick 6. So, Kansas City played the bend but don't break. And then as far as offensively, Kansas City, only 1 offensive touchdown. The rest of the points coming off field goals in the pick 6. So I think a little trouble's on for Kansas City, and then the Eagles obviously lost the game, and the offense, made mistakes. And I think that's what you see when you look at an up-tempo offense like that, how it translates to the NFL. It can cause mistakes. The defenses are better, and like I said, Kansas City played the bend but don't break kind of mentality. But at the end of the day, they didn't break. They came with the pick 6. They came with the timely interception. So.
Yeah, and I think that. But I think Kansas City could have put them away real early in this game. You mentioned those 3 field goals. If they could have turned 2 of them into touchdowns, this game would have been long over. So you're right. I think they do need to finish a little more on the offensive side with Jamal Charles and Alex Smith. But overall, 3-0, obviously a great start. Going to give the Denver Broncos some competition out in that division. So, it couldn't have started any better for the Kansas City Chiefs and this Andy Reid football team. But I do want to touch on the Chip Kelly offense. I think it's a good offense, but I think the turnovers are just going to kill them throughout the whole season. Michael Vick, 2 last night, a pick 6. These interceptions, these turnovers really hurt them. And again, even better football teams, like if you're handing the ball back to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, you're just not going to win.
Yeah, they're going to turn those turnovers into points.
Yeah.
And we saw last year the up-tempo offense with RG3 ran a similar thing to what the Eagles are running right now. And he made plays, but he also made some mistakes. And turnovers are going to happen when you're running that quick against an NFL defense.
Right. So do you think it's more of Chip Kelly or Michael Vick? Because personally, I think this offense is good, and I think it's all on Mike Vick from here on out.
Absolutely, I agree. I think it was just Vick having a sloppy game. He only completed 13 of 30 passes. He did run for 1 huge gain of 61 yards and another big gain, I think, over 20 yards, ended up with 99 yards on 4 carries. If he can continue that, then obviously, cut the turnovers, those yards added together, that's going to turn into points if you can cut the turnovers. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, really quickly now, Hoff, you touched on Chip Kelly's offense. Chip Kelly's starting out 1-2, guys. Do you think he can get it back on track, or will this be a short NFL tenure for Chip Kelly?
I think they have the ability to get back on track. Like I said, if they can cut the turnovers, I think this NFC East division, you can beat Washington twice. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be tough to beat. The Giants right now 0-2. If they can't find it soon, they're obviously beatable. So I think this division's really gettable, and they just got to stop the turnovers, because they do really have an explosive offense that can compete with the Broncos offense and other elite teams. So I think they have the ability to, but in the end, I don't think Michael Vick and the Eagles get it done.
I'm going to agree with you. NFC East is up for grabs for anyone. Like you said, Giants 0-2, Redskins 0-2, Cowboys 1-1, and struggled last week in that loss too. I think this division, up for grabs, like we said. And, Mike Vick, Eagles, too many playmakers. I think they're going to turn it around. And I think Chip Kelly's going to be just fine. It's too early to say 1-2 right now after week 3. Other teams haven't even played, and maybe the rest of the NFC East is going to lose again. I honestly think they're going to win the division.
Okay. Well, one last question before we head off. season this year, or you think this is just for the hype of the beginning of the season?
You know, this kind of reminds me of a few years ago when the Cardinals, a team that nobody expected to start, I think they started 4-0, and then they just lost 4 straight after that. And I don't even know if they won a single game after that. And I think we might see something similar with the Chiefs. Like, they really did not play that well, I mean, in the last game. I mean, they had the turnovers when they needed them, but other than that, I didn't see too much out of them. Hoff, what do you think?
And real quick, I think they're going to be a wild card team. I think they have the defense and the quarterback in Alex Smith to make a run.
Alex Smith got to put more points on the board, though. He didn't even have a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming in with us. We'll see y'all next time. Now, stay tuned. We'll have the best topic or our best segment in the show, Fast 5 Minutes of Sports. Stay tuned. It's The Hook.